Give his counter-attack against Satan to make him go. Was enough. Enough, Satan. Now you go. What did Satan do? He went. He went. Satan knew very well he was a son of Elohim. Why on earth would Satan be so obedient? But undoubtedly because, of course, Father Yahweh up in heaven, he knew he would have been punished severely with probably extreme pain or whatever had he dared not to go when Joshua told him so. The devil left him. So the devil left him, and see, messengers came and took him with him. Then here is Luke's rendering of the same event, and notice that just because Joshua overcame the temptation, that did not mean that the devil will not return again in the future. Luke 4:13. Luke 4:13.
Again, the devil attended every time, even away from him until a convenient time.
So even if you overcome a certain temptation, don't be surprised that it repeats, either in the same shape or in a very similar shape or in a rather different form. The same trial can come again. I know of one Sabbath keeper years ago. He was a teacher in Belgium. Teachers, as you know, at least in Belgium and also here, they have lots of vacation. Has been calculated that at least in Belgium, if out of 365 days, teachers work less than half of those 365 days, something like 180 days or so, so just slightly less than 50%. That's of course not counting all the work they do at home, because we know that teachers need to prepare their classes, their lessons, correct, and so on. Anyway, so they have lots of vacation, and then Feast of Tabernacles came, and well, he had to ask leaves to go to the Feast of Tabernacles. And I think for a couple of years that was allowed, or he got away with it. But ultimately he did not get away with it. They said, well, you know, there's no vacation, you have enough vacation, we just came out of we have July, August as a long vacation in Belgium, school vacation. So, well, he persevered, and the result was he lost his job as teacher. He was fired. Then he had lots of difficulty because he had 3 children and a wife who had no job, so she was housewife. But he was the sole breadwinner of the family. And then he tried lots of things, including growing strawberries. He did many things to generate money. You know, he had already a fairly old BMW car. You know, he sold his car and bought a cheaper second-hand car. And then, well, he got lots of trouble with that other second-hand car because it had many defects. You know, he had many expenses with it. So it was trial after trial, and a few years later, I know this was in the Worldwide Church of GOD, the teaching on Sabbath was changed. Suddenly the Sabbath was no longer required. And this man was so happy. Oh, hooray! No more Sabbath. I'm relieved of this trial. So that was his attitude, rather than also overcoming this test of the Sabbath. Let's say, keeping on track. He just went with the changes because that was attractive to him. He sort of had the attitude, well, this happened to me once, but this will not happen twice. Next time such a trial comes, not me. I will just give in. I will not go through such hardship anymore. He failed the test. I hope. I don't know. I don't know about his whereabouts anymore. So as long as he lives, he can repent. Let's hope and pray for that. Anyway, trials can come back and will come back. In some ways, temptation can be more powerful if it has been a long while since we have been tempted by it. The tendency is to justify doing the sin since it has been such a long time. But we should ask Yahweh to not lead us into trial or temptation. Next. So here is a great example of what to pray for. This is the part of Yahshua's prayer, Matthew 6:13.
Sige. And do not lead us into trials, but deliver us from the wicked one. Because yours is the reign, and the power, and the esteem forever. Amen. Matthew 6:13. Pray against temptation.
Next slide. While we do ask Yahweh not to lead us into temptation, we should be just as careful not to walk into
Avoid temptation. Avoid temptation.
If being at a certain place, seeing a certain thing, or doing something seemingly harmless leads us into temptation, then we should avoid it.
See, fear not.
The worship of other deities was a powerful temptation to ancient Israel. And Yahweh set up safeguards. Exodus 23:13, such a safeguard.
And in all that I have said to you, take it, and make no mention of the name of other mighty ones. Let it not be mentioned.
Next slide. Also read Deuteronomy 13 verses 6 and 7.
When your brother, the son of your mother, or your son or your daughter, or wife of your bosom, or your friend who is at your own being, entices you secretly, saying, let us go and serve other mighty ones, which you have not known, neither you nor have your brothers, or the mighty ones of the people which are all around you, near to you or far off from you, from the one end of the earth to the other end of the earth.
Continue, next slide, verses 8 and 9.
Do not agree with him or listen to him, nor shall your eyes pardon him, nor spare him or conceal him. But you shall certainly kill him. Your hand is first against him, to put him to death, and afterward the hand of all the people.
So Yahweh didn't want people mentioning other deities. And if anyone were to entice another to worship them, they were to be put to death. Even if it was one's own wife or son, or brother or sister. This is because Yahweh knew that talking about other deities was the beginning of trouble. It would bear the fruit of temptation and cause one to fall away. Remember even Solomon, who agreed to worship the pagan deities of his many wives. Even he fell away. So whatever temptation we have, let's avoid those situations that cause us to be tempted. Don't ever think that we are alone in our temptation. Take consolation in the fact that many others are tempted in the same way as we are. Yahweh will always leave us a way out of our temptation, as we read in 1 Corinthians 10:13.
Okay. No trial has overtaken you except such as a common to man. And Elohim is trustworthy, who shall not allow you to the tried beyond what you are able, but with the trial shall also make out the way of escape, enabling you to bear it. 1 Corinthians 10:13. Consolation.
Also, next verse 14.
Therefore, my beloved ones, flee from idolatry. Treat the temptation like the enemy. Yeah.
So, that brother in the faith that I just mentioned about, well, quite frankly, he did survive the loss of his income, in spite of all the difficulties. Well, I can assure you, neither he, nor his wife, nor his children ever starved to death or so. So, yeah, I think the main problem probably in his case was, well, he had an unbelieving wife. So she was, well, that's my guess. I don't know all the details of the story, even though I was rather close to him. She probably was, let's say, accommodating for his faith, as long as things went well. But oh my goodness, when temptation came, and especially the loss of his job, and then the hardship, the uncertainty, well, where will I find the necessary income to sustain my family? So all that stress was, I think, was too much for her. And while initially she was accommodating, she probably turned more hostile. That's an extra trial. It's also another topic for a sermon. But there are situations where it is advisable to separate in your house. You should not stay together at the expense of your eternal life.